even 10 years ago, we would have said these recommendations to you. Wendy and I have written volumes about getting started with screening. And we want to make sure that before you screen, you build people's expertise, because you're right. If you're not screening right now and you're leaning in that direction, you don't want to just like come back and say, hey, fill out the screener. You want them to understand how the screening data will be used. It is not used to exclude a child. So just like Taylor and Denise are nodding their heads right now, thank you. That's right. We need to build a plan and then help people to understand, because in the beginning, teachers are worried about that. Like, who am I to say that? Teachers are awesome tests. Like, they see kids stressed, stretched. They see kids in social situations. We know that teachers are highly accurate. Sometimes people have said to Wendy and I, like, well, I'm worried this is too subjective. Is this really work? Yeah, we know it really works, because those data actually predict important outcomes for kids. But you have to have the structures in place, and we have to be responsible in our screening. So right now, in this COVID era, thinking in your tiered system, and again, the recommendation is not to switch systems, it's to solidify, shift, pivot, use the system that you've built. So we encourage you to continue with screening if you're doing it, and to select something that you feel comfortable implementing and sustaining if you're not yet doing it, and then engage in really high quality professional learnings so that teachers know how to use the data and how to collect it accurately, and paying attention to things like you should never email screening data. Like I mentioned, you should not use item level data to inform interventions. And we know that because we've tried it. The field's tried it and we realized it was wrong. So we want to think about that. We want to also think about using multiple sources of data to inform instruction. Remember, screening is just a screener. It's like when you go to the blood, like go get your blood pressure checked at a doctor's office. It might be high because there is an issue. It could be that it's high because you're anxious about being at the doctor's office. So it is but one indicator. And then when we talk about screening responsibly, and please listen to this part carefully. If you are exploring the possibility of also adding on now parent completed screeners or student completed screeners, you must be prepared to respond to what they share. Everything we've been talking about today is a teacher completed screener. Remember, teachers are mandated reporters. So if they were aware that that child was a danger to themselves and others, or that they were being hurt, that would have been reported. So in reality, there's really no new information coming in a screener. It's just how that information is aggregated, put together. That's what's used to shape instruction. If you invite parent screenings now or student completed screenings, those are wonderful tools. Like if you look at the BAS 3 Best, there's a whole suite of tools that you can use to get the parent, the teacher, the student perspective. The same is true for the strength and difficulties questionnaire, but now you are bringing in new information. So if a child tells Nikki, like I circle this item that indicates I'm at heightened risk for or if I'm thinking about hurting myself, or if somebody is hurting me, you must respond to that. You cannot screen and then shelf that information. And remember, families are in really vulnerable situations right now. So be cautious. I'm not saying don't do it. I am saying be cautious about how you do that.